Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
I'm Marie Peterson. I'm a therapist here at this agency. I'm meeting with you today because you've made an appointment. You needed to speak with someone. We have a confidentiality. I am a student with U of C, so I am actually needing you to consent for me to use this interview as part of my training purposes. I discussed this before you decided to come in. The interview, everything is confidential and will just be kept between yourself and I and the University of Calgary.
Okay.
You're good with that?
Yep.
Okay, thank you so much. So, what would you like to talk about today?
Well, I wanted to make this appointment because I'm struggling with employment and education-wise where I see myself in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So I finished school, post-secondary, 2 years ago. And I know it's for sure the field for me, but finding where I want to work within the field, or if I want to go back to school and balancing that with my family life, it just all seems really overwhelming, and I can't pinpoint where I want to be or where I see myself in 5 years. Right? Now, everyone always says that. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I can't figure it out. So I was hoping to maybe get some help with brainstorming and maybe how to get there or to get there together.
Okay. So that sounds like it's a really exciting kind of maybe overwhelming time for you right now.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit more about it?
Well, I think it's exciting because I'm young and starting my life. But I think it's also overwhelming because there's so many important decisions to be made. And some of it can cost substantial amounts of money. It's just hard because when I went to school, I was like, I know exactly what I want to do. Yeah. And then now that I'm done, it's like, well, what do I want to do? Really, right? Because there's so many options.
Yeah. So what are some of your options?
So I know I eventually want to go back to school.
Yeah.
And with going back to school, so that's an option. I could or couldn't go back to school. I know I want to go back, but I have to pick a specialization and know where I want to be when I'm done school in order to get into school.
Yeah.
Right? So I have to write a proposal letter about why I want to complete my master's. And then I have to pick a specialization that will fit what I want to do.
Okay.
But it's really hard to pick that. Right? It's challenging. And I think part of that challenge comes into I am stuck in Red Deer. So I can't leave Red Deer once I'm done school. And there's only so many options. And if I specialize in one area and say I want to work with victims of domestic violence in a therapeutic setting, there's limited jobs available for that. So if I specialize in that and I don't get a job in that after, then what am I going to do?
So the uncertainty of the future may be a little bit of a concern for you, of making that choice and then being limited in opportunities.
And I think if it was a smaller decision, it wouldn't bother me so much. But my master's will probably cost me $45,000 to complete over a course of time. That's including my unemployment during my practicum. So I'm asking my other partner to help pay for that because he makes way more money than me.
Yeah.
And then I also have to take into consideration that I'm young, and I also want to have kids, and I also don't know where I want to work right now, right? So it's just all so much at the same time.
So you're identifying that you feel kind of stuck just with your location. Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Is there any reason why you need to stay here, or?
So my significant other has a business here.
Oh, okay.
So Of course, there's always a chance that it would expand somewhere one day and I could move, but that's not guaranteed. So it looks like I'm staying in Red Deer and plan to stay there. It's not reasonable to move to a bigger city, especially when he makes significantly more money for the household than I do. So
so the spouse, is he supportive of kind of where you're at in your life and everything? Like,
oh yeah, he'll let me do whatever I want. He's supportive of future education. He's supportive of me finding where I want to work, and if that includes a job change, he's all over it. Amazing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. If he was a little more decisive, though, it would maybe make my decision easier.
Decisive about what?
Like, if he was more, or maybe the word would be opinionated.
Oh, okay.
Right? So if maybe he had more of an opinion, it'd be easier.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
So does that matter to you then? Is that something that you take into consideration, his opinion, or?